Hello everyone. Today I'm going to go over a few things to get you started with class. When you first log in, you should be at the announcements. Please read all the announcements because I will post reminders, important information, the weekly video, and that kind of thing. So you need to be aware of those. Please, if you look on the left side of class, you see the important sections. Please just ignore the Herzing assessment. Your assignments are tied to the assessment by using Classroom. Faculty info, you will find my contact information, office hours, and at the very bottom you will see a link to the office hours. If you click the link, it takes you to room details and you click join. The first time you need to download the Blackboard Collaborate Launcher by clicking on this blue area. Once you've done that, then you just click join room and you're going to open the meeting collab file, which comes up in your, I'm on Chrome, so it really depends on what browser you're using, but you need to open that file. And it takes a few minutes to get started. Once you see the purple button, you know that it's finally loading. And this is what Blackboard Collaborate looks like. As you can see, I'm listed here. If you were in, your name would also be listed here. There's a chat, and to chat you just type in the box. You can also use a mic if you have one. It's recommended that you use a headset. I've tried it without the headset and you really can't hear, and it doesn't work well, and a lot of times it won't even pick up the mic. So to set up your mic and audio, you click this little arrow and you'll see the wizard comes open and you can go step by step. Once you've completed, you should be able to hear me and I should be able to hear you. But once you've done that, you have to click talk, this button, in order to talk. And then you would turn it off if you didn't want to talk anymore. That way, if you leave it on, there's background noise. Now if it's just the two of us, it doesn't really matter. But if there's several, then it would cause a lot of interference. So anytime it says office hours, this is where I'll be. Now on Mondays I have the live presentation from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you join me, then I'll give the presentation. You can ask questions. We will be reviewing the assignments. And this first week we will talk about the discussions. We'll talk about APA formatting and that kind of thing. So I really do encourage you to attend. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our list, and the next section is the syllabus. You'll find here the syllabus, you'll find my late policy, you'll find the catalog, the price handout, and a price video. I would recommend that you download the syllabus and keep a copy because it does have due dates there. That way if you're offline, you always know what's due. Excuse me. The next section is classroom, and this is a really important section. Of course, you see faculty information. You won't see that when you're in the class. So it talks about the learning outcomes, and then you have the weekly folders. If you click on the weekly folder, then you see the sequence of activities, the reading assignment, the presentation for that week, and the assignment and any quizzes. And then at the very bottom I have another link to my office hours. To post an assignment, you're going to click on the assignment name. And here you can see is where you can see the rubric that I actually use for grading. So when you open the rubric, you'll see how many points and what, for instance, the first assignment is just points depending on how many correct answers you got. So I will mark the points, and that's what gives you your grade. To submit an assignment, you're going to browse your computer. Okay, let me do it on this other one so that I can actually do it. This is like your view. So if I browse my computer, and I'm just going to pick a document. Once you see your document listed there, then you're going to come down and you're going to submit. If you save it as a draft, you will be able to edit it, but I won't be able to grade it until you actually submit it. So once you click submit, then it should give you a preview, and that tells you that you've submitted. Now if you did something wrong at that point, you could start a new submission. Now to make corrections, because I do allow corrections, you would need to go back into the same place where you submitted your assignment, and you would click Start New, and it just brings you back, and you pick another document. Now if you are supposed to submit 2 documents or a zip file, make sure you've zipped the file before you want to submit it. Or if you want 2 documents, then you browse my computer, put the late policy in, and then browse again and put the second document in. I said late policy because I'm just using that as an example. So you'd have both documents, and then you would submit it. And that's how you submit assignments. The next section is discussions. Now let me see, I don't know if I can do discussions. I'll try. So you'll be able to read the requirements, and you'll be able to read the discussion topic. And this is what you're going to respond to. There's questions. It might ask you to define something or research something. To actually submit a discussion, you're going to click on where it's got the name in blue, and it will open the forum. To submit a discussion, you need to create thread. And again, you'll see the topic, so if you've forgotten, there it is right for you. And there's 2 ways to do it. You can type it in Word, check your spelling, make sure you have everything, then copy and paste it here, and it really depends on your browser. In order to do it in Chrome, you need to do Control V for paste. You can also type your message in the box, but be sure you check spelling. So let's see, let's check the spelling. It'll underline it in red, then when you right click, it'll give you some choices. The one thing with the spell check, it doesn't check grammar, it only checks spelling. I recommend typing it in Word because it checks grammar and spelling, as long as you set it up to check grammar and spelling. And also it'll tell you the number of words you have, because you're required to have at least 100 words. So to me it's easier if you type it in Word and then just paste it in here. Please, there's an option to add a file somewhere. Maybe they took that off. I don't can't see it either. Do not just add a file, because I want students to be able to read your discussion without having to download another document. And that's discussion. Now to reply to a discussion, so let's submit this. Oh, you need to put a subject, and it doesn't matter what subject you use, it's up to you. So then once it's submitted, you can click on the blue name, and that opens that particular discussion. To reply, you just click the reply button, and it gives you the same little box to type in. Also, if you say, oh, I forgot my reference, you can go back and edit your discussion. And it will change the date, but I will be able to see when I'm grading when you originally submitted it. Now, I will allow discussion editing until the week is over. Once the week is complete, you can't go back and correct anything. So make sure you get your reference in there and all the things you need and have it spell checked before the week is over. Next is the glossary, which is a list of terms and definitions. Then we have the message. This is Blackboard message. To create a message, you click Create Message, and it doesn't have anything here except me and my program chair, because class isn't open yet. But say you wanted to email me or send me a message, you would click my name and move it over, type in a subject, and this is exactly the same box. One thing you'll notice is that you can send pictures, say if you, or files, say if you want me to look at something because you have a question, you can send me your file. I have found that doing it that way does not work. It's better to choose the file from here. So you click Choose File, Browse, and you'll be able to send me the file. Now, if you have an error message and you don't know what to do, you can always send me a picture, and you would do that by clicking on Edit, Insert Image, and then you would browse to the image. Then once you're done with your message, you click Submit. Then if I've sent you a message, there will be an unread. It'll mark it as unread. Now it really doesn't notify you that you have messages, so you just need to check this frequently, at least once a day. Next is My Grades, and let's see what it shows when we go. It shows all the assignments, and it shows that I've submitted a discussion and an assignment, and once I've graded it, then it will show you the grade that you got, and I will provide feedback so that you'll be able to know what you need to correct in order to make corrections. And like I said, I do allow corrections on assignments, but not on discussions or on the midterm. Check your grades often, see how you're doing. You'll be able to tell here when things are due. Now remember, discussion, the original discussion, the initial discussion is due on Wednesday. Sorry about that. Even though it just says the 29th. Of course that isn't, oh, that's the submitted time, I'm sorry. Anyway, you'll be able to see, okay, I didn't do this discussion and it's week 2 and I haven't done the discussion, so I better do it. So that's why I want you to check. And you can also click on the tabs to see what's submitted, what's up and coming. Of course, I believe it says the date when it's due, but I'm not sure because I don't have your view. Next are student resources. You'll find a lot of help. There's help for Blackboard. There's an on-demand learning center. And there's a folder for each week. And in these weeks, you'll find the different links to help you with that section. So if you're really new to computers and you're new to this, I would advise you to go through and check out the links, watch the tutorials, and of course if you have any other questions, you can always contact me. Library resources is just like the library tab. So you can either click here, see it's exactly the same, and here you will find ask the librarian reference service. You'll see the databases for finding information. You'll find the guides, and toward the bottom you'll find formatting and citation APA. There is an HU APA tip sheet which I will be using to grade your references. So you're required to have a reference for every single discussion, and it needs to be formatted in APA. So use the tip sheet for that. I'll go over that more in the weekly video. The academic coach section gives you a link to, and when you click on it, it gives you a link to set up an appointment with Damien Kravitz, who's the academic coach for IS 102. And that's all you're going to see. If you go back here, you'll see that you don't see the other sections. You just see academic coach, but you don't see the other things that I use. And I think that's all I needed to go over. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. If you have any more questions about getting started with class, if anything that I've shown you is confusing, please contact me and let me know so that I can help you. Make sure that you have the correct book. It is for Office 2013. If you have 2010, it is not going to give you the information, and you're not going to be able to do the assignment. So make sure you have the correct book so that you, because starting with week 1 you will be needing the book, so get it as soon as possible. That's all I have for now.